Gentleman yields back. The gentlelady from Florida. Sticking with Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's been well established through several, nearly all of these committee hearings that this subcommittee was built on a bogus foundation that the federal government was weaponized to take down and silence conservatives. 7 hearings later, we have yet to see any real evidence of that, including this one. Meanwhile, our MAGA loyalist colleagues shamelessly ignore Donald Trump's ample record and mounting threats to turn our executive branch into his personal vendetta buzzsaw. We could easily look at his past abuses, say, to hurt the owner of the Washington Post, or his vast attempts to overturn a free and fair election, one that he soundly lost. Better yet, we could look at his unfolding 2024 enemies list, where prime targets are sure to be doctors who provide abortion services and half of our population in America, America's women. Ambassador Eisen, it's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Donald Trump brags about how he, quote, was able to kill Roe v. Wade, as you can see here. What would a second Trump presidency mean for American women who need life-saving abortion care?
Congresswoman, nice to see you also. Thank you for inviting me. The meaning of a second Trump term, as in so many other issues across the board, would be devastating, potentially devastating, for women and for all those who are affected when women require life-saving abortion care. The decision of the United States Supreme Court in the Dobbs case represents a betrayal of the principle of stare decisis, the principle of settled law, to impose an agenda that is dangerous and threatening.
Thank you. Thank you. As you're leading to, Donald Trump led the charge to overturn 50 years of established law, decimating women's basic health care rights in the process. And it's no surprise, really. This is a man who bragged about grabbing women's genitals and stands accused of sexual misconduct by dozens of them, was actually held liable for sexual assault. Trump's lack of respect for women is well documented, but as the MAGA leader, his animus emboldens extremists at every level to target women's reproductive health care. Interstate travel, social media messages, even the federal process used to approve medicine has been weaponized to target women. Texas has gone so far as to deputize the public as a weapon to restrict women's access to reproductive care. Ambassador Eisen, in your opinion, do you expect Trump to push for a national abortion ban outlawing abortion in all 50 states briefly if he were to win a second term?
Congresswoman, as you know, one of Donald Trump's proudest accomplishments was that he was able to kill Roe v. Wade. Looking at his supporters and the fervent sentiment for a 50-state abortion ban, and with the door that has been opened by the Dobbs decision, the removal of those federal protections for women, but for all of those affected, the families, the communities, I fear that Donald Trump would seek to break new ground.
If you don't mind, I want to drill down
Please.
a little bit. Can you detail how you think Trump could weaponize the Department of Justice or even the FDA to further restrict women's right to access abortion health care?
He could order the Department of Justice to appear across the country to defend the increasingly draconian laws that are being put on the books to prosecute those who are involved, even when it jeopardizes the life of the mother. At the FDA, he could take additional restrictions, depending on how the mifepristone case comes out, take additional restrictions on medication and on health technologies.
Thank you.
Jeopardizing women's lives.
The White House should never be turned into a workshop to grind personal and political grievances. Trump did that during his last term and promises to do it again. Mr. Chairman, I always thought this subcommittee was a MAGA sham, but after what we've heard today, this subcommittee may need to be retained if Donald Trump wins the 2024 election and redirected towards actual weaponization of the federal government. Make no mistake, Trump will ramp up his efforts to weaponize the federal government against women. President Biden, on the other hand, continues to stand with women across the country and protects them against further erosion of our basic health care rights. So maybe we'll see you back in the subcommittee again next Congress, Mr. Chairman. I hope not, and I yield back.